H2K Infosys provides world-class online IT training, staffing and software testing solutions to customers worldwide. H2K Infosys supports 100% job-oriented training, hands-on project work, cloud test lab, resume preparation and review, mock interviews, robust syllabus. One-time pay, lifetime access to live classes and videos. H2K Infosys has won the trust of thousands of students worldwide. For free demo class, visit h2kinfosys.com.
Not yet, Raj. Perfect.
All good, guys? Are you able to see my screen? Not yet. Okay. Okay, great. Thank you, Aparna. So I think then everybody should be able to see. Let's get started, friends. So before I jump into the session, quickly I will introduce about myself, friends. I'm not sure how many of you have attended yesterday's session, but that's fair enough, no issues. So my name is Raji. I'm having around 12 plus years of experience in IT industry, and I have been working on Hadoop and Big Data from past 5.5 years, and I'm associated with H2K Infosys from around more than 3 years, 3 to 4 years. Okay. Apart from that, I work in MNC as a Hadoop senior architect, and also I'm leading a team of around 20 members. I'm very much interested in teaching, and I do a kind of freelancing as well whenever possible. Okay. So apart from H2K Infosys, I work with many other institutes and also give corporate trainings, guys. I think that's what more about me. And now, moving on, introducing H2K Infosys with you guys. I hope everybody knows about this, but still, I will take one more minute of your time to introduce about H2K Infosys. So H2K Infosys is a e-verified headquartered in Atlanta, Georgia, and we provide 100% job-oriented instructor-led face-to-face online trainings, friends. Okay, a part of this training, we cover in-depth syllabus with all latest technologies, and of course Hadoop is one of them. Hi Raji, is the same as yesterday's session. No, Aparna, this is something different, but a couple of minutes will be same because as students will be new, I just need to introduce about myself as well as H2K Infosys today as well. Okay? Yep, no issues. So we provide real-time project in order to gain hands-on experience, and of course you will have a lab to practice. So we will help you on how to install Hadoop on your machine itself, and you can practice parallelly when I'm going through the sessions also. And once you are registered with H2K Infosys, you have many advantages, guys, such as you would be provided with recorded class videos, which is for lifetime access. And we help in conducting mock interviews, group discussions, once the course content is finished. Also, we do have professionals in helping you in resume preparations, and they will review it and make sure it is marked properly and provide placement assistance. So overall, guys, it's kind of an end-to-end package which H2K Infosys is trying to provide you. So we play a major role across countries and continents, guys. Majorly, we closely work with North America, South America, and Asian continents. And we are proud to broadcast that we provide IT trainings with the real-time project work, and it's not only for individuals but it is also for corporates. Apart from that, special IT training for MS students is provided, and we concentrate majorly in all the areas of SDLC lifecycle, such as design, development, QA, manual and automation, and performance testing as well. So one important instruction while attending the online sessions, guys. I'm not going through all these points. Only one request from my end is please stay on mute in case if you are not speaking out. So as soon as you log in, guys, I will try to unmute you all. So just mute yourself from your end so that we will have a crystal clear audio. Now coming to the agenda for today's session. So I will explain you big data and some of its use cases. What is the challenges that we are facing with the big data currently, and how Hadoop is going to provide you a solution for all the issues coming up with big data. And if time permits, guys, I will have a walkthrough on the Hadoop architecture and its ecosystem. Okay. Now, hope everybody knows about big data, friends, but just to give you a quick recap, we can simply define it as big data is the amount of data that is beyond the storage and processing capability of one single physical machine. So when you have huge volume of data dealing with, which spans more than multiple machines, and majority of the challenges relates to storage and processing, then definitely big data is one of the choice in order to solve those kind of problems. Now, so we have big data. What are we going to do this? We understood that the main requirement for any of the businesses is to analyze the data. The answer is as simple as it is, right? But the toughest question is, what's the value in taking pain of analyzing this data? So the answer is, friends, it's in this huge heap of data, the golden nuggets of vital information state. Analyzing this data can give business an edge over the competitors and help them serving in a personalized manner. So it's more kind of a definition, right? So let's try to understand that in detail. So it's in this huge heap of data, the golden nuggets of vital information state. Let's say, guys, I'm taking a use case, okay? The requirement is I want to buy iPhone 6s from Amazon. Okay, this is the use case, and I hope everybody knows about Amazon. It's more kind of a commercial website and whatnot. Everything will be available. One-stop shopper, right? Right. So there might be thousands of customers who will be looking into the Amazon website, browsing through it all the day. And now the requirement for all of them is buying a iPhone 6s, and the experiences for different customers will be different. Let's say for customer 1, he logged into Amazon website and he tried adding the product to the cart, and while payment he got an error, something like page not found or whatever it is. Okay, he got some error, and again he has to log in and again try to add that product to the cart, move to the payment, and was able to do that successfully, and he was given a particular delivery date, expected delivery date, something like that. So this is what his experience is. Now let's say customer 2. So he tried adding the product to the cart and of course was successful. Payment was done properly. However, the product was not delivered on time. So generally when you order product, he will give you like, okay, you would be getting this product in next 5 to 7 working days or whatever it is, business days. They will give you an estimate, but the product was not delivered within the estimated time, and it take more than 2 weeks or something like that. This is what the experience of customer 2. Let's say customer 3, he is a poor guy. he was not able to do the payment successfully for in one single shot, and at the same time the product was not also delivered properly. So he felt so bad, and he is like, kind of crazy, and he logged into Twitter, his account. Okay, he logged into Twitter and posted a message saying that, hey friends, please do not order any product from Amazon. Customer service is not up to the mark. He has just given a tweet, an open-ended tweet like that on Amazon. Now let's say you are working in Amazon and your manager came to you and he said that, hey, last month we have launched a product which is iPhone 6s in our website and seems to be very successful. I wanted to get a report like how many customers have bought this product, what was their experiences, and how many pieces have sold, what is the profit, loss, and all that. He asked you to get a report. Then immediately what you will do, friends? First straightforward point that you are going to do is you will log into the website and you will try to get all the browser details, in the sense all the log information of Amazon from last 1.5 month, and you will try to sort them out in order to generate the report. So first input for you is the log information from Amazon web servers, right? Now first thing first, he will come across a problem that page not found. Somewhere while going through the logs, one day at point of time he was able to see page not found error. So definitely he will look into the system and see that whether it is a proper error or not, whether we need to do any fix on it or not again. Like that, slowly he will look into each of the customers' reviews, and somewhere in between he will come across this message also. It is not only the Amazon web servers he has to go through that, but to get a proper detail of the product, definitely he need to concentrate on social networking sites also, right? So though your Facebook or Twitter is not directly related, or there is no agreement between your Amazon and Twitter, definitely he need to concentrate on these kind of social networking sites also to get a proper response from the customers. So immediately he will come across this statement saying that, hey, someone is like saying do not order any product from Amazon. Is that so bad? What is going on? First of all, he will try to get the customer information from Twitter. As soon as he gets in, first of all he need to validate whether he is the right customer or not to Amazon. There might be few persons who are just anti to Amazon and they just wanted to make sure that Amazon to let it down. Simply they can give any false statements also, right? So he needs to make sure whether the statement is a proper statement or not, first thing. So first point is he need to validate whether he is a customer of Amazon or not. Let's say it was proved that he was a customer. Then the next step he has to take is whether he has any purchase history. Let's say he might be a customer from last 10 years, but till date he haven't ordered any product in Amazon. Then do we need to really bother about his statements, friends? Not really, right? He might be a kind of, a window shopping guy who just wanted to get the product details and then the price in the website, compare it with other websites, something like that. There will be many people like that, right? So he need to first of all validate his purchase history and get to know that whether he is really interested in ordering that product or not. Now once these two verifications are done, then the next step is he will validate whether it is a right statement or not. which means whether he got any problem when browsing the website at that point of time. It might be page not found error or whatever it is. So if that is the case, then definitely he need to do a fix on top of it and make sure that any other customers are not facing any issues. So there are multiple steps that has to be followed, and there are multiple areas as well you need to go through, though Amazon is not directly related with them. So that's what the statement says is, it's in this huge heap of data, the golden nuggets of vital information stay. Analyzing all this data from different sources will give you an edge over the competitors and help you in serving in more personalized manners. So some of the major use cases, friends. It's like almost every project which is dealing with huge volume of data and going through the characteristics of big data will definitely need to implement Hadoop projects. But however, I just jotted down a couple of use cases which will be common across industries, and generally you will be coming across them. First thing is online advertising, targeted ads and personalized offers. So when you open a particular website, let's say you are planning to join Hadoop course, okay? So it's not only H2K Infosys, there are thousands of institutes who are providing you Hadoop course, right? So when you open Facebook or something, based on your browsing history and all that, it will provide you targeted ads saying that, hey, we are one of the institute providing Hadoop course content and all that, and these are the advantages, this is the fees and all that. So these kind of target ads would be coming up based on your history, browsing and all that, and that is nothing but based on your big data analytics. And next one is recommendation engines. Very, very interesting thing. Let's say, friends, I'll go to Amazon itself. Okay, now I wanted to buy iPhone 6s. So I have selected this product. Now if you go through this page, it says that frequently brought together and customers who bought this item also bought this. These are nothing but your recommendations. Hey, out of 1 million customers in Amazon, 80% of the people also buyed a separate charger along with this iPhone, or maybe they have bought a separate cover, a back pouch, because most of them felt like this is a good offer as a combination. So these are nothing but your recommendations, and these recommendations, your websites will come up based on the purchase history and browsing history of all the customers who are going through Amazon, which means out of 1 million customers who have gone through Apple mobile, they have viewed this back pouch product also. So that's the reason they were making it as a combination product or something like that. So these are nothing but your recommendations, friends. Next one is log analysis. One of the best example is the one which we have discussed just now. Buying the product and different customers going through it. And next one is about identifying customers who are most important. So there might be thousands of customers for your website, but few of them, generally they will prefer and tend towards buying any of the product in Amazon. No matter you give a personalized offer or targeted ads to them or not, generally they will tend towards Amazon, saying that, hey, definitely the product or the delivery that Amazon is going to handle is up to the mark and I am very much satisfied, and guaranteed products would be delivered by them. So you might be having a very good impression on Amazon, and you reach to some extent saying that you have spent $1,000 till date, or maybe $5,000 till date. So they will try to make you as a very important customer and make sure you would be given some more advantages, saying that, hey, you are one of my gold customer, I am giving you, a small gift card, something like that. They will come up with those kind of options to make sure the customer is not moving on. Next, identify the best time to perform maintenance based on the usage patterns. So even in your companies, guys, you might be having intranets where you would be filling your timesheets or maybe going through your pay slips, etc., right? But generally you will be getting mail saying that, hey, this particular website will be down from Sunday 1 a.m. to 2 a.m., something like that. It's nothing but the maintenance time in order to fix any issues that were coming up on the websites. Similarly, the same kind of pattern will be followed in any other websites also. So these best times will be identified based on the usage pattern. If it is on weekday, definitely one of the practitioner of your company would be browsing the timesheet or maybe the pay slips or something like that. But out of all the 7 days in the week, you are facing less number of hits, let's say from 1 a.m. to 2 a.m. Sunday early morning. So they will say that, hey, there is at max of 1 or 2 customers who is browsing the website. So let's make it as a maintenance time and make sure that any fixes that has to be done on the website will be taken at that point of time, and nobody will be able to browse that website also in that particular time frame. So these kind of maintenance activities and all that time frames can be identified based on the browsing history of end users. Analyzing your brand's reputation by analyzing social media posts. Again, the same old example will suffice, guys. So we just seen that though Amazon is not directly related to Twitter, definitely it has to go through the social media posts or something to make sure they are getting proper reports from the end users. Finally, personalized medicines, which is in research, guys. It's kind of, it's in the very initial stages, friends, but the major motto behind it is like, okay, someone was saying something. These are good examples, but will we be able to do these kind of analysis after taking training with you? So it all depends on your project, Vipin. So I am giving you this example so that you can understand what kind of use cases you may come across. In your project, let's say you are doing some sort of banking project. In your banking project, there might be your own use cases. If that's the case, you cannot go to your website and analyze it, right? So it all depends on the scenarios that you are dealing with. Okay. Yep. Nice. Now, some of the challenges of big data. So we understood what is big data, what are the use cases of big data, when to use, when not to use, and all that. What are the challenges? First thing is big data itself is chosen when you have huge volume of data to be stored and processing. So two things, storage and processing. So the available current hard drives are not sufficient enough to store the data. So currently whatever systems you have, let's say my machine itself, it has limitation. Some 8 TB capacity of memory or some RAM, some limitation is there. And beyond that, I will not be able to store the data, right? Similarly, processing. So let's say by hook or crook you have stored the data. Next challenge is how to process it in timely manner. Somehow you can process it one by one in sequential mode or something like that. But based on the network limitations and all that, how ideally you can process the data. Maybe you can use distributed systems and all that, but is that the optimized way to process it is the question. And finally, the last challenge is varieties of data. Till date, whatever systems that were available were able to process only structured data. But what about unstructured data, guys. If you want to process some images, videos, audio files, then yes, your current traditional systems will not support it, right? So the solution to all these kind of problems is nothing but a introduction of new technology, which we call it as Hadoop. So Hadoop gives you a variant solution to solve all these problems and handle these kind of issues gracefully. So just give me a second, guys. I will be back. Just a second, okay? Okay, I'm sorry guys, I'm back. Okay, so what is Hadoop? How are you going to define it? So Hadoop is a open source system which is used to store and process the data in a highly scalable manner, which has the feature of fault tolerance, and of course it is cost effective also. So many important points to understand, right? So first point, Hadoop is a open source system. So we can download Hadoop from Apache Mirrors. We ourselves can download, guys. There is no specific licensing to use it. That's one of the biggest advantage. And it is majorly used for storing and processing the data. So it has come up with its own architecture in order to handle these two issues gracefully. And it provides a feature of scalability. So what is scalability, friends? Any guesses, anyone? Nobody? Okay, no issues, that's fine. So scalability with respect to Hadoop is nothing but, let's say today you are dealing with 50 terabytes of data and you have some 30 machines or so in your cluster. Tomorrow you are expecting 10 more terabytes, or maybe let's say 30 more terabytes. So to handle this new volume of data, it is always easy for me to add up new nodes to my cluster and make sure all the nodes act in sync to process all the volume of data, which means totally 80 terabytes of data gracefully. So adding up of new nodes or maybe deleting of nodes at any point of time is not a big deal with Hadoop, and that is what your scalability is about. So reorganizing and changing your cluster setup is not a big question with Hadoop. And as I told you guys, it provides a feature called as fault tolerance. So fault tolerance is provided based on a small a factor which we call it as replication, friends. So any data that is entering into your Hadoop world will be replicated across multiple machines by default of 3 times. Let's say I have loaded 1 terabyte of data into my cluster. As soon as I load it, it will be copied as 3 terabytes, friends. This 1 terabyte, it will be copied as 3 terabytes, and all this information will be distributed among your cluster. So at any point of time, if one particular machine goes down, you will not be in a situation of losing the data because you already had a replicated copy of it. A copy is already there and you can get that information from that copy. So this is a default feature that is provided by Hadoop. Of course, I agree that we would be having some sort of redundancy in the cluster, guys, but still they are fine enough because all that we are going to use is commodity hardware, which means simple normal configured machines. Even my laptop or your laptop can also be part of your Hadoop cluster. So they are not really minding about redundancy. All good, friends? Clear till now? Can we go ahead? Hello,
Yeah,
friends.
clear.
Yeah.
I'm okay with it. Thank you.
Yep. Thank you. Now, to define Hadoop, guys, it's time to define it, okay? So Hadoop is a distributed system software which is completely written in Java, and it is going to be installed on a cluster of commodity hardware. So once you define and set up your cluster, you're going to install Hadoop on each and every machine, and of course we call it as a distributed system software because on every machine your Hadoop will be available, and this piece of software is completely written in Java itself. Maybe that is the reason sometimes you might come across that, people from Java background only can learn Hadoop and all that, but that's not the case, friends. That's not true actually. The software itself is written in Hadoop, I mean in Java, that's it. But it is giving you lot much of abstraction so that the end user doesn't really need to learn Java and completely depend on it. There are many ecosystems and pieces available in Hadoop which will not deal with Java and any other programming languages like it. So let me give you the architecture on a very high level, friends. I'm giving, if you observe the heading, guys, the architecture is in a 1,000 feet overview. It's not that in one single session we can complete the architecture. So I'm just giving you a brief idea. That's it. So first point is businesses have a huge data that needs to be analyzed very quickly. A very common scenario and a very common requirement as well, right? Now, the idea behind this is, in implementing our Hadoop system, is chop that huge data into small chunks and spread it over many machines, which means across your cluster, and have all those pieces process their portion of data in parallel, and that is how you can get all your answers extremely fast. So first thing, guys, let's say I wanted to process 1 terabyte of data coming in from my specific input source. The idea is, as soon as it enters into your cluster, this 1 terabyte of data will be chopped down into multiple pieces. Let's say I have divided it into 10 pieces, or maybe let's go by default, something like that. Okay, it's fine. Let's go by 10 pieces. Okay. So all the 10 pieces will be distributed across your cluster. Let's say on machine 1 you have first piece, machine 2 second piece, machine 3 fifth piece, machine 4 ninth piece, machine 5 10th piece, something like that. Okay, so the distribution is going to happen in that way, and as soon as the end user triggers a job saying that, hey, I wanted to execute some hello world program or something like that, and this is my input file. If he says that, the program will be distributed across all the machines wherever your data is chopped into, which means across all the 10 machines your program will be copied in, and whichever piece is available on that machine, on that specific piece your program will be executed and it will generate a result. So on machine 1, whatever data that is available, it will execute it and give you a result. Similarly, on machine 2, whatever data that is available, the program gets executed and gives you the result. So all these results will be finally aggregated and returned back to the end user, and that is how you can get the answers extremely fast, because distribution is happening, parallelism is happening, everything is there. So what not you don't have, right? So that is the simple architecture behind your Hadoop systems, and the same implementation will be taken across all the programs, friends. No matter you write a be complex program or a simple program, distribution and parallelism are the key takeovers here. Okay. Now moving on to the Hadoop ecosystem, friends. So basically when Hadoop was introduced, there are only two major components which we call them as core components of Hadoop. One is HDFS and second one is MapReduce. These two, unless and until you have these two components, you cannot say that you have installed Hadoop properly on your machine, friends. First and foremost point. Okay, so if you have HDFS without any processing system, that means there is no use. I have the data and without processing I cannot do anything, and there is no use of maintaining the data also. Similarly, let's say you have the processing system available, but unless and until you have the data to process, what you will do? There's no use, right? So these two are the core components. HDFS is used for storing all the data that is coming in from any of the third-party sources outside your cluster. And MapReduce is the second component which is used to process all the data that is stored on top of HDFS. So in around 2008 and around 2006 and 7 time frame, these two components are introduced. But slowly, once Hadoop was released along with the white papers, I mean, many companies thought like, hey, this is something going to be very interesting, let's start working on that. And that's how every company came up with their own ecosystems. In that mode, with that said, there is a component called as Hive, which is developed by Facebook in around 2009 time frame, friends. So Hive is also one of the processing system that will take your input from HDFS. So the storage is common across all these components, guys. It is all HDFS only. On top of it, you are building many other ecosystems which is used for processing. One of them is MapReduce, and the second one is the one which we have discussed, which is Hive, which is developed in around 2009 time frame. Similarly, there is another component called as Pig. So Pig is a processing component again developed by Yahoo in the same time frame, around 2008-9 time frame. So Pig, it uses its own language called as Piglet. It is more kind of a data flow language, whereas Hive, it is more kind of a SQL language. However, it has some differences between your SQL, and this language used by Hive will be called as HQL, which means Hive Query Language. Okay. Now, moving on to the next component, friends, we have HBase. HBase is another component which is built on top of HDFS, which basically helps you in providing some transactional requests. So HDFS doesn't support transactions, and even to be frank, guys, Hadoop is not really meant for transactional purposes. No, it is more into OLAP systems rather than OLTP systems. Okay, but however, in order to perform any transformations related to row level, a new component was developed called as HBase. Altogether, it is a complete different architecture, friends. And now when you are dealing with Hadoop and HBase, you have to be very careful and make sure that data is coming in properly. In the similar lines, we have many other components, friends, like Scoop, Flume, Spark, Oozy, so many components. Each one has its own set of advantages and disadvantages also, and your architect is going to decide which component to be used in your real-time projects also. When you plan to use Hadoop and all that, you will be summarized with all these information saying that, hey, please use this component for processing, for storage use this component, this is the workflow you have to follow, and all that. So as of today, friends, if you consider, there were around 70 to 80 sub-projects that were developed on top of your core components. Just imagine, friends. Maybe not every project will use this, guys. Max, you will be using from some 4 to 5 components. in most of the projects, 95% of your projects, unless and until specifically required, you will not jump into them. Okay. Any questions on this ecosystem, friends? Okay, then let me do one thing. I think we are left over with 10 to 15 more minutes. So I will open up the questions section, friends, and just do let me know in case if you have anything to discuss, okay? All good? No questions at all? Yeah. You can just get in touch with the team, friends. They will help you in providing you the schedule. Because even I'm not sure about it unless I get an email. I'm not getting confirmed. Maybe for this week it will be like that. From later on, once we start the actual sessions, there will be no confusions.
Means there is tomorrow there is no actual sessions continue.
Sorry.
From tomorrow itself, the actual sessions will going to continue, or else there will be sort of a gap.
No, I think there will be certain gap. It may take 1 week or so. I'm not sure. That's what I'm saying. So just try to get in touch with the team, or else I'll do one thing, guys. I will drop an email to the team saying to get in touch with you all, so that you can have a personal discussion with them. Okay, making sense?
So can I got enough information from the past two sessions, like yesterday and today. Okay, what exactly the Hadoop will do, and these all things. Okay, so like I didn't get like how we can get the information from a social networking third-party websites like Twitter or something. Like
Twitter is a separate thing, guys. But for example, let's say you wanted to get information from Facebook. If the requirement is such that Facebook is giving you an opportunity, Facebook is giving you a project to perform some analysis on them, you cannot access Facebook and they will not let you access all this kind of sensitive information. That's not possible.
Yeah, that's what. So I'm a employee of Amazon. Okay. So now I got a request for get the information of so and so customer who has given a bad review or very low review or kind of things, and he given the same information in other networking. How can I get access to the Facebook logs or Facebook or Twitter, whatever?
Right. So your company should be having a deal with your social networking sites, whatever you wanted to browse. Okay. And that's how, of course, Facebook or Twitter or whoever it is, or gaining a lot of profits.
Okay.
So it's all with the agreements that we have internally with other networking sites. Twitter is, of course, a bit different. Even I can browse Twitter logs, guys. It's just that I need to register and get to, get some sensitive passwords and credentials. They will share with us, and you can get the logs. Twitter is altogether different.
Okay. Like let's assume so I need to get find a one word or some sort of information from billions of record. Okay. So we can't do any of these select queries, right? So how exactly we can achieve these kind of things using Hadoop?
Yep, so that's what we are going to do in our course content. So I would be going through each of the ecosystem in detail, and I will explain you what kind of use cases will be dealing with that ecosystem, because you have, let's say, 30 to 40 different options to deal with a particular use case. What is the best one and most suitable way is the question. So all those things we would be discussing in our session.
Means like
And of course, when you go, yeah, please go ahead.
means I need to do some sort of code or a logic
Of
to get this
course.
information, or it's a
Yes, of course.
oh, okay.
So all the magic is involved with the logic.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good questions. Anything else, friends, you want to discuss? I think we are left over with 9 more minutes.
Hey Raji,
Hey,
this is
hello.
Aparna here.
Hi.
I heard you mention that we may not have the scheduled classes like from tomorrow or something. It has to come from H2K again, right? They will be
Right.
sending an email.
Yeah.
And would that also take into account the long weekend because like Monday is a holiday?
Yeah, so mostly this week you might not be having sessions, guys. I mean, that's what I'm assuming. But just to get a confirmation, get in touch with them.
Okay, so yeah, I was mainly wondering about it starting from Monday because I guess most would have planned for a long weekend. You may not
True.
be able
I
to.
do understand that. Yeah, it's a scene for us as well. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, I'll just get in touch with them right then.
Sure.
And
Definitely.
just another question about the way this is being conducted. I don't know how you guys do it in the past because I'm used to some trainings and all in the past, but sometimes I wonder if it's good to have it more like a discussion between the people in the team. So in the session, right? Like say there are about
Of
10
course.
people,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
So
You
is it
always gonna have a discussion, right?
okay, so is it allowed for us to pitch in when, like, for example, you are discussing something, you're discussing the answers. Is it allowed for us to pitch in to discuss, to give us our points, to continue in that regard?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, because that way it will make it more interactive and
Obviously, and that's what even I'm looking for.
okay, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, just wanted to know if you're okay with that.
Yeah, that should be fine, Aparna.
Okay.
No issues with
Okay.
that.
Yeah, thank you.
Yep. And even that's the reason, in between I'm asking you guys, confirming that whether are you good enough, any questions, if you can open up, definitely. I mean, I'm sure that many of them might be having many questions that, you may not feel comfortable in discussing in the session directly. So that's the reason I'm prompting you guys to ask the questions so that others will also get cleared off on that.
Yeah, I understand.
Okay. Anything else, friends? All good for the day? Okay, then. Great, guys, and I hope you
Actually,
enjoyed the session. Yep.
it's Naveen here again. Okay, so like
Yep.
in our sessions, right? So are we going to do any real time situation cases or any of the use cases like getting the information? Because I agree, like we will be not getting any access to any of these Twitter or something. So let's assume like if H2K or from your end you have a lot of data that we need to do any kind of real time case that we can search get the data or something.
Yeah, sure. We can do that. I mean, I can give you some real-time data as well. You can download it from that website, or probably I can provide you with the file also. That's not a big deal. So during our POCs, we will do that, friends. I mean, I will explain you a small POC, which is, it's kind of a real-time project which I have plugged in from my project itself. So once I go through that, I will give you a small assignment, a separate POC as well, so that you can also have hands-on experience with all the components.
Yeah, that's what I'm expecting. Yeah, that's great.
Yep, sure. Okay guys, then if no questions, then I think we are good for the day and we can wind up the session. Okay, fine friends, thank you all for joining. Hope you enjoyed it, and let's meet again maybe this week or maybe next week based on the schedule, and we will learn more. Okay, thank you all friends. Bye bye.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye-bye.